Hello. As part of the music notes for this week, I thought that I would take some time to share with you information about the composers of our anthem and our offertory. The works that you're going to hear are collected in an anthology of Black American composers that was assembled by a professor, former professor at the University of Michigan, Willis Patterson. And in the introduction to the anthology of music by Black American composers, he had a couple of things to say in 1977 when he pulled this group of music together that I think is worth listening to within the context of today. So I quote from his introduction. As the search for a contents to this collection was undertaken, a question consistently posed by friends and colleagues was, why does there need to be a collection of Black American composers? In these days of comparative social enlightenment, particularly in matters musical, such a question seems proper. To answer this question, I thumbed through several collections of songs which contain all or nearly all American art songs. The total number of these collections over the past 30 years is pitifully few. Of the 8 different American song literature collections which I have in my library for the assignment to university students, my survey revealed a shameful neglect of Black American composers. These collections contain 139 American art songs composed by more than 80 different American composers. 4 of the composers represented in this number are Black Americans. The effect of this exclusion has been decisive. We have a large and reasonably knowledgeable group of performers and audiences for art songs who are relatively ignorant of the art of Black American composers. Now, again, keep in mind that he wrote that in 1977. The concluding words to his introduction are also quite telling. Again, and I quote, "It is hoped that this publication will be an important step in freeing from the bonds of neglect this large body of important American songwriting. It is hoped that this flow of musical freedom will become so pervasive as to make collections dealing with works delineated by the race and color of the composers obsolete, awkward, and out of place. But just now, our performers, teachers, students, and audiences of American art song need this anthology and more like it." Again, completed August 1977. I think the intentions of Dr. Patterson ring true today. We're still seeing new works uncovered by Black composers, works that have been neglected for a number of years and are finally having their due. And it's a great honor to be able to include that music as part of our services at Church of the Covenant in anticipation of Black History Month next month in February. The 2 composers that you'll hear on Sunday, Charles Lloyd Jr. Lloyd was born in Toledo, Ohio in 1948. He has degrees from Norfolk State University and the University of Michigan, and he's currently professor of piano composition and choral conducting at Southern University and Agricultural and Mechanical College. 2 of Mr. Lloyd's works were performed by Kathleen Battle and Jesse Norman in their Spirituals in Concert recording, 1990. This was a concert some of you will remember, conducted by James Levine and recorded by Deutsche Grammophon. The other composer that we'll be featuring is Adolphus Hailstork. He has degrees from Michigan State University. He also studied the Manhattan School of Music, the American Institute at Fontainebleau, and at Howard University. He is currently a professor of music and eminent scholar at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, Dr. Hailstork has written a lot of choral music in addition to vocal music and other genres. In fact, some recent commissions that he's had have included Rise for Freedom, which is an opera about the Underground Railroad that premiered in the fall of 2007 here in Ohio, also with the Cincinnati Opera Company. And finally, one of his current projects is a tribute to George Floyd called A Knee on a Neck, and he's writing that for chorus and orchestra. Hailstork and Lloyd Jr. are 2 of the leading living Black composers of art song and choral music in our country today. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to listen to and enjoy their art. This Sunday, both selections are performed by Covenant Chancel Choir soloist Gwendolyn Delaney.